Hello and welcome to the very next video in the Functional Medicine Detox course. Of course, this is the future of health, brought to you by Love Energy Wellness. And where does the Functional Medicine Detox come from, and what does it do? I guess I'm having a little trouble here with the slide presentation, but we'll go to the next one. It comes from Ayurveda. And I put the pronunciation there in case you've ever seen that word, you know how to pronounce that, but it's pronounced Ayurveda. And it is the traditional Hindu system of medicine, which is based on the idea of balance in bodily systems. And it uses diet, herbal treatment, and usually yogic breathing to balance the system. And you'll hear me use that word balance quite a bit. And that is where true health comes from, is getting our bodies into balance. So it puts them in a position to heal itself. The body has a self-healing mechanism to it. Just like if you cut your finger in the kitchen, a couple of weeks later, and that cut is healed up, every part of your body has that ability, and it can happen faster if your body is in a position, if it has the tools and the building blocks that it needs to be able to heal itself at any capacity. Ayurveda treatment starts with an internal purification process, followed by a special diet, herbal remedies, massage therapy, yoga, and meditation. And the concepts of universal interconnectedness, the body's constitution, which is called in Ayurveda, it's called Prakriti, and life forces, which in Ayurveda are called doshas, they are the primary basis of Ayurvedic medicine. And the concepts have been practiced for more than 6,000 years. And the reason why they continue to be practiced is because they are proven to work. They are effective. They have an effect, and Ayurveda is the cause to help rebalance the body. And, you know, I mentioned that it starts with an internal purification process, and that's what this functional medicine detox does. This is a purification protocol for your liver. And let's move on to the next slide. I don't want to give too much away here. So functional medicine detox, and it falls under purification, and panchakarma is the Ayurvedic methodology of purification of the body. So I like to ask myself questions, and I forget who said the quote, but the quality of your life is dependent on the quality of questions that you ask. And sometimes those questions that you ask, you're asking yourself those questions, not necessarily somebody else for their opinion or advice or whatever the case may be, but asking yourself because, you know, Ayurvedic medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, there's a lot of philosophy that goes along with that. And in philosophy is something that's called spirituality, and that's not to be confused with religion. Some people mix the two, but they're completely different. And you need to ask yourself these questions because your inner self knows the answers. Your inner self knows the answers, and we usually are our biggest enemy, right? We are our own worst enemy, as the saying goes. And we are usually holding ourselves back, and holding ourselves back usually comes from something being fear-based. I don't want to go too deep into philosophy right now, but you need to ask yourself, what is your why? Why do you believe that you want to take your health to the next level? What's the reason? Maybe it's because you're simply tired of feeling, tired of feeling at your worst or not as good as you once did. Maybe you want to take your health to the next level. You feel amazing, but you want to increase your performance to see what else is possible. That's where I find myself today. It wasn't always like that. I was on my journey. I was at a point where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I needed to take action and do something. And that something made me feel great. That something, by the way, was Tai Chi and Qigong practice that made me feel good. And I said, what else is possible? And I looked into the next thing to take my health to the next level. And it's been a stepping journey the entire time, not just stepping forward, but going up in elevation, higher levels of thinking and moving upward and onward. And So you need to ask yourself why. Why take your health to the next level? Maybe it's for your children. Maybe it's for your spouse. Maybe it's because you need to take care of elderly parents, whatever the case may be. And I fall into all of those categories. So it starts with why do you need to take care of yourself, but then a deeper question. In integrative health, we keep, unlike conventional medicine is in integrative health, we keep asking the question why do we have these symptoms? Why are those symptoms there? What's causing those symptoms? And we need to peel it back like an onion until we get to the very core of the issue. And why should we detoxify our bodies, and specifically our liver? Well, the answer is that your liver is an amazing organ in your body. And all the blood in your body gets filtered from your liver once every 6 minutes. Think of that. Well, I've already spoken here for about 6 minutes. And in that time you're watching this video, your liver has completely filtered all of the blood in your body one time, right? One cycle. And it's very important that the toxins that are in your blood from things like intestinal permeability and environmental toxins that get filtered out. And if your liver cannot process those in a certain fashion, and in a future video I'll get into what that fashion is, the process that the liver does to convert those toxins, it keeps those in your body then if it cannot do its job, and it will store those toxins in different parts of your body, in your adipose fat tissue, and we'll get to more of that in another video as well. So moving on this slide, ama. Ama is an Ayurvedic term used to describe the buildup of toxins in the body. When those toxins build up, they get stored in the body, and eventually, they get stored in your toxic tank. And eventually, when that tank is full, think of a pressure cooker, and the pressure just keeps growing and growing. Eventually, you cannot hold that pressure any longer, and your body's going to react. Ama is the root cause in the first of the 6 stages of disease. So remember that, because we're going to cover 6 stages of disease later on. In India, in Europe, in China, purification or detoxification was the cornerstone of how these ancient forms of medicine helped people rejuvenate their body and their mind. And that's why we call this a total body and mind reset, because if you're doing 7, 14, or 21 days of a purification process, and I just want to say maximum input gets you the maximum output. So your maximum effort will get you the maximum results. I highly recommend the 21 day, but if that's not within your means right now, 14 days or even 7 days. And no matter how you execute this functional medicine detox, there is, no wrong way to do it. There's better ways, but this is the best of the best right here in combining ancient Ayurvedic medicine and wisdom with state-of-the-art functional medicine technology. So a little more on Panchakama. Disease cannot exist in a healthy body. Our bodies do the healing when we put it in a position to do so. And detoxification helps to rebalance hormones, improve immunity, lower stress, allow for deeper sleep. Oh, that deeper sleep is so good. Natural weight loss, remove digestive stress, support healthy levels of inflammation, reduce toxic load, and restore vitality. That's right, restore vitality. I am, as of this recording, I am 48 years young in my life, and I can do things today that I could not do 6 or 7 years ago, just because of my health journey and my desire to see what else is possible. A functional medicine detox is a total body and mind reset. We'll go through these 5 things right here. Thermogenesis. It turns up the heat in your body to burn fat, and that's part of where the weight loss comes from. Your blood sugar, it balances glucose and controls your appetite, and that's something that a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people are pre-diabetic and have type 2 diabetes, and they have appetite control issues. Hormones, it'll rebalance your hormones and it'll expel that toxic water. And we'll get more into that expelling toxic water portion in a later video. Sleep and recovery. It's going to help you rest, and it's going to help you recharge to fuel fat. And 5, cortisol and stress. Lower levels. It'll lower levels of cortisol, lower levels of stress, and it will let go of fat. So quick thing on cortisol. Cortisol is a neurotransmitter or a hormone that is released when your body is under stress, and it's released to send signals to your body to do certain things. And one of those things, because it is part of the sympathetic nervous system and the fight or flight response, is your body, when it sees that cortisol, it thinks that it is in a fight or flight situation, and it is going to do things to put you in a survival mode. And part of that survival mode is to shut down digestion, because you don't need that to survive right now. And another thing is to take what nutrients you have in your body and store it as fat, because you're going to need that later. You're going to need that later in a survival situation. So just because you're stressed, maybe at work or from a relationship or whatever the circumstances are, your reaction to that stress causes cortisol. Cortisol is a signal to put you into survival mode. And a part of survival mode is to shut down your digestion at one level and to store what you have available for fat for use later. So right now you can run away from that saber-toothed tiger or whatever is threatening you, or your boss yelling at you in your fight or flight response, your sympathetic nervous system. There's no difference between that tiger or an issue with a coworker or an employer or a spouse or whatever the case may be, confrontation or road rage or whatever your trigger may be. Your body doesn't know the difference if it's that or getting eaten by a tiger and trying to survive. So just know that it's very important to lower your stress levels, which is going to lower your cortisol levels, which is going to let go of that fat. And this is why we must empty our toxin tank on a regular basis. I want you to know this. I want you to know that no matter where you are in your health journey, there's somebody just like you that's already overcome the worst of health issues, and that means you can too. And I'm here to say, as a living testament, and I don't want to say that I had the worst of health issues, but I had some health issues, and they were getting worse. They were getting more common, more often, and I saw the path that I was on, and I wanted to change, and I did, and I feel amazing, and I vowed to share my journey with the world to help other people along their way, because that's what leaders do. That's what leadership is all about, to lead by example and to help others and to be of service and help people expand, whether that's in health or wellness or consciousness or whatever the case may be. And I want you to know that I'm here for you and that you can do what I have done already. And going forward, we are in this together, and I can help you with whatever I have learned. And I'm constantly learning more and more every day. This is something that I've devoted my life to, and I'm excited to be here, and I'm grateful for you watching this right now. So up next, we're going to talk about how full and pressurized is your toxic tank, and where the heck are these toxins coming from? Like, how can we stop these from coming in so we don't have to do so much maintenance on ourselves? We'll talk about that coming up next. And I will see you in the next video. I'm grateful for you being here.